Hello friends, first of all of you happy Teachers Day. On that auspicious day, we are going to discuss about very important topic, poetry section. Poetry section, unit number 2.3. Title of this poem is The Inscape Rock, written by Robert Southey. The Inscape Rock is a ballad written by Robert Southey, and in this ballad, Robert Southey described a story about the abbot of Aberbrothock and about the Inscape Rock in this poem. First of all, we are going to discuss icebreakers activities on page number 103. Look at page number 103, icebreakers. Prepare a word register related to marine life. Prepare word register related to marine life. One is done for you, sailors. You should write another words related to the marine life in this section, such as fish, whales, icebergs, seabirds, coral beaches. We can also mention salt water, ships, etc. So this is the first activity, words related to the marine life. Now another icebreaker activity given on this page, the function of a lighthouse are. The functions of lighthouse are. One is done for you to show the direction. One function of a lighthouse are to show the direction. Another function you should write, what is the use of lighthouse to the people or a sailor especially. Second, benefit of lighthouse to warn ships about the danger in the sea areas. To warn a ship about the dangers in the sea. So this is another function of a lighthouse. Third function of a lighthouse is to show proper direction during the storm. To show proper direction during the storm. This is the third function of a lighthouse are. And next another function you should write also in this section, to guide the sailors to reach the coast. To guide the sailors to reach the coast. So student, remember these are the functions of a lighthouse. Can be asked 2 marks activity, functions of lighthouse in a personal responsive question. So keep in mind, remember these words are uses or benefits of lighthouse here. Once again I repeat, these functions of lighthouse are to show the direction, this is the first function. To warn ships about the danger in the sea area, this is the second function of lighthouse. Third function of lighthouse is to show the proper direction during the storm. And fourth function, to guide the sailors to reach the coast. So these are the functions of a lighthouse. Remember another activity in icebreaker section. Discuss in pairs in various famous rocks in the world and mention the places where they are. Students should mention the world famous rocks and their locations, their places where they are. First is done for you. We are going to discuss about these world famous rocks in icebreaker activities. World famous rocks are given in the one section. First is balancing rock. First is balancing rock. Location is of this balancing rock is Mahabalipuram. Location of this balancing rock is Mahabalipuram, especially in India. So this is the first example done for you. Another rock you should mention, Rock of Gibraltar. Rock of Gibraltar. This is also one more famous world rock, and it is also in a state of Gibraltar. State of Gibraltar. Strait of Gibraltar. In the Mediterranean Sea. Rock of Gibraltar, the location of this Rock of Gibraltar in Strait of Gibraltar in Mediterranean Sea. Next one, Ayers Rock. Next one, Ayers Rock. And location of this Ayers Rock is Uluru, Australia. Location of this Ayers Rock, Uluru, Australia. One more example of world famous rock, Wave Rock. Wave Rock. Location of this world famous wave rock is United States of America. Wave rock. And one more world famous rock, Spilt Apple Rock. Spilt Apple Rock. Spilt Apple Rock. And location of this Spilt Apple Rock is in New Zealand. Is in New Zealand. So remember, these are some of the world famous rocks and their locations. Okay. Now next activity in icebreaker section we discuss. Narrate in the class the story about someone who destroyed or spoiled someone's good work. We have come across a lot of such type of things. Someone's good work spoiled by someone in our day-to-day life. We also witness such kind of experiences. Now discuss in pair group the following expressions. Take the help of your teacher. As you saw, so shall you reap. Crime gets its own punishment. What gets around comes around. Tit for tat. Evil digs a pit for others but falls into the same. These are all proverbs related to our type of work, act. What type of work or what type of act we perform, and we get the punishment or a reward or a fruit of this type of activity in the future. So all these proverbs are related to the such kind of activity. What is our work and what we get as a reward of this type of work. Now let us know something about the poet Robert Southey. Before going to start actual poem, we are going to discuss the work, literary work of Robert Southey. Robert Southey, born in 1774 and died in 1843. He was born in Bristol, England. He was the son of the draper, educated at Westminster School and Balliol College, Oxford. He was a poet laureate of England from 1813 to 1843. Some of his short poems like The Scholar, The Battle of Bethlehem, Bishop Otto, The Inscape Rock, etc. are very popular with the school children. The literary work of Robert Southey is very popular in the school children. The Inscape Rock is a ballad. The Inscape Rock is a ballad. It is a story of the 14th century attempt by the abbot of Aberbrothock to install a warning bell on Inchcape Rock, a notorious sandstone reef about 11 miles 18 kilometers off the east coast of Angus, Scotland. Near Dunedin and Fine, occupied by the Bell Rock Lighthouse. So, in the next part, Robert Southey mentioned the abbot of Aberbrothock placed a warning bell at the particular reef of sand, 18 kilometers, around 11 miles away from Angus, Scotland, and this bell worked as a lighthouse for the sailors. Southey was inspired by the legendary story of pirates, and Robert Southey, the poet laureate, was inspired by the legendary work of pirates who removed the veil on the Inchcape Rock placed by the abbot of Aberbrothock. And this pirate removed the veil on the Inchcape Rock, which is placed by the abbot of Aberbrothock. The poem gives us message that those who do wrong things will meet with a due punishment. And what is the message given in this poem? Mentioned poet Robert Southey at the end of this introductory part. The person who do wrong things will meet a due punishment at the end. This is the message of the poem given in the introductory part of Robert Southey. So this is about poet Robert Southey. We studied about this poet Robert Southey. Now we are going to start actual poem. Open your textbook, page number 104. We are going to discuss about few stanzas in this poem. The Inchcape Rock, first stanza. No steer in the air, no steer in the sea. The ship was as still as she could be. Her sails from heaven received no motion. Her keel was steady in the ocean. So this is the first stanza, and in this first stanza, Robert Southey mentioned the calmness of sea. In the first stanza, Robert Southey described the calmness, stillness of the sea, the air, the sea, the ship, all were still. And he mentioned the air, the ship, as well as sea also were still. The sail of the ship were getting no motion. The sail of the ships were getting no motion at all from the wind. Its keel was steady in the sea. And its keel means the bottom part of the ship was also still in the sea. So in the first stanza, poet Robert Southey describes calmness of sea, even the air, even the particular waves also were still in the sea, and there was no any other motion in the sea. So first stanza reveals some kind of figure of speech. The ship was as still as she could be. Look at this line. The ship was as still as she could be. Sound S repeated oftenly. Sound S repeated oftenly, and that is why there is a figure of speech, alliteration. Second line of the poem, there is a figure of speech, alliteration. Figure of speech, alliteration. On alliteration, sound S is repeated often there present in this line. The ship was as still as she could be. So this is the, remember one thing about the figure of poetic device or figure of speech. One more activity should be asked from this first stanza. Give the rhyme scheme of the first stanza. Give the rhyme scheme of the first stanza. What is the rhyme scheme of the first stanza? While preparing a rhyme scheme on the stanza, any stanza, take into consideration each line ending word. each line ending word. Now first line ending word C, second line ending word B, third line ending word motion, and fourth line ending word ocean. So these are the four words of each line ending words. Now while preparing the rhyme scheme C, we give alphabet A. This C rhyme to the second line B. So use same alphabet A. Second line does not match to the next third line, to give another alphabet B. Third line rhyme to the fourth line, to give same alphabet to the fourth line. So rhyme scheme is AB, AB. So this is why you should study or learn the rhyme scheme, prepare rhyme scheme. Now see the second stanza of the poem. Without either sign or a sound of their shock, the waves flowed over the inscape rock. So little they rose, so little they fell, they did not move the inscape wave. The second stanza of the poem describes the mild sea waves. Poet Robert Southey mentioned the mild sea waves in the second stanza. The waves were rising and falling so little. Poet Robert Southey mentioned here, the waves flowed over inscape rock in a mild way. The waves were rising and falling so little that they did not make any sign or a sound. And that is why these waves did not make any kind of sign or a sound. So little, mild kind of waves. That is why they cannot create any kind of sound. So little they rose, so little they fell. They did not move the inscape wave, and that is why the waves were gently flowing. Poet Robert Southey mentioned the waves were gently flowing and over the inscape rock without moving or ringing the wave. The waves were slowly or gently flowing over the inscape rock without any kind of moving or ringing the inscape wave. So in the second stanza, poet tells us what was the atmosphere over the sea, on the sea, particular on that day. And Robert Southey mentioned the waves were rising and falling so little, the waves are mild, and that is why they did not make any sound or any kind of sign, and the waves were such kind of gently moving, and that is why the inscape rock did not ring, or inscape wave did not even ring. So in the second stanza, without either sign or sound to their shock, the waves flowed over the inscape rock. So little they rose, so little they fell. Rose, fell, opposite ideas here. Figure of speech is antithesis. Rising, falling, opposite ideas. If in poetic line there is a opposite meaning word, figure of speech is antithesis. So this is the second stanza. Poet described about the mild waves in the sea. Now see the third stanza. The abbot of Aberbrothock had placed the veil on the inscape rock. The abbot of Aberbrothock had placed that veil on the inscape rock. On beyond, in the storm, it floated and swung, and over the waves it warning flung. The third stanza of this poem, Robert Southey tells us about the veil. In the third stanza of the poem, Robert Southey tells us about the veil. The good old abbot and there was one person who is called as a monk, the good old abbot of Aberbrothok, positioned the Inchcape rock, positioned the bell on the Inchcape rock, and during the storm it floated on a bayou and rung widely, sung by everyone that the danger rock was there. And the old abbot of Aberbrothok placed the bell on Inchcape rock and the bayou during the storm rung the bell, and the sailors also warned there was a deadly or a perilous rock in this sea. So this is the importance of bell for the sailors mentioned in the third stanza. The third stanza is about bell, and third stanza totally is about the bell. Who placed the bell? The abbot of Aberbrothok placed the bell, positioned the bell on the Inchcape rock. And what is the function of this bell? During the storm, it floated on the bayou and rung widely. And during the storm, this bell rung widely, and then everyone get warning. There was a dangerous rock. So this is the function of Inchcape bell, mentioned Robert Southey in the third stanza. Now next stanza we are going to discuss. Stanza number 4. When the rock was hid by the surge's swell, when the rock was hid by surge's swell, the mariners heard the warning wail, and then they knew the perilous rock, and blessed the abbot of Aberbrothok. So in the fourth stanza, poet Robert Southey also mentioned what is the use of this bell. In the next 4 lines, poet tells us how bell guided the mariners. In the next 4 lines, poet tells us how the bell guided the mariners in the bad weather. This bell, Inchcape bell, guided the mariners in the bad weathers. The seamen could not see the rock, as the seamen or sailors could not see the rock, as it stayed hidden under the high waves. Because the rock is hidden under the high waves during the storm, but they could hear, but the seamen or sailor could hear the ringing bell and went away from the perilous rock. And seamen also diverted their ships and went away from this perilous means dangerous rock. So bell saved their lives. In this way, this Inchcape bell saved the lives. Then the seafarers blessed the abbot for his good job. And then the seafarers or mariners blessed the abbot for his good job. So in this stanza, poet Robert Southey tells us what is the selfless work of abbot of Aberbrothok, and how the use of bell work as a lighthouse for the sailors and mariners during the storm, as they could not see the rock hidden under the waves, but he can also hear the bell which is ringing, and mariners and sailors understood there was a dangerous rock, and they moved their ships and saved their lives. And finally, the abbot of Aberbrothok blessed by these mariners because of his selfless work or good work. So in this stanza there is one more dominating figure of speech. The rock was hid by the surge's swell. When the rock was hid by the surge's swell, there is one dominant figure of speech. Name of this figure of speech is alliteration, and second is transferred epithet. So these are the two dominant figure of speech in this line. When the rocks was hid by the surge's swell. Remember student, in this line there are two dominant figure of speech. Mariners heard a warning bell. this line also there is a one dominant figure of speech. The mariners heard the warning bell. Sound of the warning bell. Sound producing word figure of speech is onomatopoeia. So remember the figure of speech in this line. And stanza number 5 we are going to discuss today. The sun in heaven was a shining day. All things were joyful on that day. The seabirds screamed as they flew around, and there was a joyance in the sound. So in this next stanza, poet Robert Southey mentioned the happy, pleasant atmosphere on the sea. On that particular spring day, what type of atmosphere? The fifth stanza delivers a cheerful atmosphere. Robert Southey mentioned the fifth stanza delivers a cheerful atmosphere, as it is generally happens before every disaster. As it is happen before every disaster. And he further mentioned, on that particular bright day, everything looked joyful. Robert Southey mentioned, on that particular day, everything looked joyful. The seabirds were whirling over the sea and screaming in joy. Seabirds also whirling over the sea and screaming with joy. So everything was joyful as it happens before the occurring disaster. So Robert Southey mentioned here a happy atmosphere before upcoming danger in the next part of the poem. So in this stanza we discuss about the happy cheerful atmosphere on that particular spring day. Everything was joyous or joyful. Phrases related to the joy or happiness mentioned here, such as joyance, joyful, as well as on these things are very important. Gay. So poet Robert Southey describes the joyous or cheerful atmosphere in this stanza. So this lecture we studied 5 important stanza of this poem. Remaining stanza we will discuss another part, second part of our video. So friends, read this poem, read every stanza, find out meaning of every verse, vocabulary, figure of speech, poetic devices, or rhyme scheme. I hope you enjoy this learning. Thank you.